and welcome back to the blind read-through of 2236 AD. We're just gonna hop right back in because Lord knows what's gonna happen. We had a lot last time. We were hanging out with people way smarter than we are, and then weird sex happened, and then now this is the meaningless Alice move. Snot. I'm sure that's what they mean, right? Let's just go. June 25th, 2233 AD. Oh, this is back when Yotsuba first met her, I think. Yotsuba-kun? Yes. Huh? Aren't you in the track and field club? Yes, that I am. Myochu, right? Oh, are you Shion-senpai? So this is not like mentality universe, is it? Bingo! We went to the same school, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Quite a surprise. Though I must say, you sure do remember me quite well. Yotsuba-kun is a cute name. Of course I'd remember it. Is that a fact? Good to meet you again. Yes, it is. So, okay, now we're going back. So, okay, they reunited here, and this is basically how they probably ended up together, because they probably spent the last bit of their high school careers together. I feel like I've been dreaming again. Why? I haven't been dreaming recently, so why now? Although I say recently, I still don't know a thing about the archive. I'm not even beginning to learn anything. I have no idea what kind of place this is. I don't even know fear being here. Maybe ignorance is bliss in that case, though. A goldfish or a turtle in a tank always seem to be happy after all. Maybe it's something like that. I don't doubt my current surroundings. I don't doubt them until If I don't doubt them until I die, maybe all my worries and hardships will just disappear into the ether. I just may have become afraid of learning with my first meeting with Haru Shion acting as the trigger. After all, I haven't experienced a time when I was glad to learn something. Even if I learned and learned, all would be crushed by something that just doesn't make any sense. That's me. Throughout a lot of the science-y, physics-y parts of this game. No matter how much I learn and try to do my best, in the end, there's no way I can oppose my fixed destiny. Back then, I learned that very fact. Now, my first meeting her, Hime Shion-senpai, I have been able to ascertain that fact. I'll never be able to compete with her, I once thought. She knows more than I do. She's more active than I am, and she thinks more than I do. I'll never get there, ever. That's what I thought. To add to that, not even senpai can reach the doctor's level. I can't get motivated to chase after something that's virtually endless. I take a nearby Akashic phone book and try reading it. 1. A point is that which has no point. Which has no part. 2. A line is breadthless length. 3. The ends of a line are points. 4. A straight line is a line which lies evenly with the points on itself. 5. A surface is that which has length and breadth only. 6. The edges of a surface are lines. 7. A plane surface is a surface which lies evenly with the straight lines on itself. 8. When a straight line on a straight line makes the adjacent angles equal to one another, each of the angles is a right, and the straight line standing on the other is called a perpendicular to that on which it stands. Oh God, we're doing this. We're back to just being a textbook, aren't we? An obtuse angle is an angle greater than a right angle. An acute angle is an angle less than a right angle. A boundary is that which is an extremity of anything. A figure is that which is contained by any boundary or boundaries. A circle is a plane figure contained by one line, such as all the straight lines falling upon it from one point among those lying within the figure equal one another. And the point is called the center of the circle. And the point of you reading a textbook to me is... And the diameter of a circle is any straight line drawn through the center, terminated by both directions by the circumference of the circle, and such a straight line bisects the circle. Rectilinear figures are those which are contained by straight lines. Trilateral figures are those contained by 3. Quadrilateral are those contained by 4. And multilateral are those contained by more than 4 straight lines. Of trilateral figures, an equilateral triangle is that which has 3 sides equal. An isosceles triangle is one that has 2 of its sides alone equal, and a scalene triangle is that which has all 3 sides unequal. Further of trilateral figures, a right-angled triangle is that which has a right angle. An obtuse angled triangle is one that has an obtuse angle, and acute angle triangle is one that has 3 angles acute. Of quadrilateral, you know what? I'm not reading it. I'm not reading this. This is boring. I will let you read it. This stuff is not easy to make entertaining at all. This is just bone dry. I can't make this interesting. I have to read it and absorb it, which is the best way for me to handle it, but I cannot read this out loud and in any way add anything to this experience. I apologize for anybody that may be visually impaired. This is for my own sanity. Oh, we're done. I read most of it. Thanks! It's undoubtedly all about figures. It undoubtedly has a bunch of things about figures, which I know quite a bit about. Still, I don't know. I'm not quite getting any of this. Me either. Why am I getting this in the middle of my visual novel? Why did the author forget they were writing a visual novel? I don't know about these figures. I pretend to know, yet know nothing. No, I'm not even pretending, dog. This is the difference between Senpai and myself. Senpai seems to get shocked when she comes across something she doesn't know and becomes excited about it. I wonder where Senpai is off to. Senpai. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Oh, here we go.
I was alone. I was all by myself. No one was looking. I was thinking of you.
Oh, gee. Anyway, a canal. There's a canal flowing under my feet parallel to the bookshelves. The puddle is connected to the canal. I try following where the canal leads to. This place, it's a door. I managed to figure that out through intuition, though. Hime Senpai is on the other side of this door. No, this is where we went back to the real world, isn't it? I want to see Hime Senpai. I have to go looking for her. I open the door. What is this place? Oh. Okay. Quite a bizarre sight. A white floor that expands over the entire surface. This is sand. Above, blue skies and white clouds. It's a desert. The desert extends far and wide without end. Also, atop the desert are lined several hundreds of millions, no, maybe even more, bookshelves. As many as there are stars in the sky. How did bookshelves get lined up in a place like this anyway? More importantly, where is this place? And how do they keep dust out of the books? This has got to be a hell of a cleaning job, CS. You got my respect there. Jesus. It's kind of scary. My legs are frozen in place. Doctor, do you want to help explain this, maybe? Okay, good. So you've come as well, I see. Dr. CS? Your face says, what is this place? Hime-chan had the same expression. So, this is what Hime-senpai saw then. Correct. Oh, the charger? Charger. Masako's charger. Do you have it? This way. Follow me, please. The doctor, just like she did before, leads the way through the desert of nothing but books. As always, I'm clueless as to what the doctor is thinking, but I don't have the feeling that she's just going to let me borrow a charger. The desert contained by an infinite amount of bookshelves, just like the archive. Unlike the archive, however, the bookshelves have several different colors of publications lining them. Nevertheless, what even is this place? It's a desert for sure, but it's not hot at all. There's no wind blowing either. Is there even any air? Granted, gravity and time, for all intents and purposes, seem to exist. Also, what's the deal? What is this infinite collection of publications? How long have I been walking for? I look back, but the door I used when I first came through here is now far out of sight. Or maybe, now that I'm at this point, I'm not sure whether or not there really was a door there in the first place. We've arrived. We continue walking for a good while until the doctor finally stops in her tracks. Here it is. She pulls out a single publication from the shelf and passes it to me. How to build a hand crank charger for smart tools? That is awfully specific. But yeah, like what a pinpoint exact publication. It seems that, true to form, it doesn't seem as though she'll be letting me borrow a ready-to-use charger. I could have just lent you one, yes. However, you are using it for the first time, so you have to go through your orientation again. Upon hearing the word orientation, I'm not filled with the best of feelings. This is gonna be math. What's gonna happen this time, I ponder, looking at the door as she seems to be in some sort of deep thought. Oh. She seems to have remembered something. My apologies. I forgot that there's something that I have to go prep, but I will give you a map. So I trusted you. So can I trust you to be alone for a bit? Alone? Me? Are you kidding? Have you seen what I just did while I was alone? Ma'am, but I also understand that while you may want to get away from me, given what I was just doing maybe 5 minutes ago, you probably don't want to shake my hand either. I would just advise not. It's not sanitary. My apologies again. Here you are. Alright, see you later. Here 1 second and gone the next. Quite the busy individual. Anyway, just when did she have the time to draw this map? Oh well, it's not important now. I walked the way shown on the map and ended up in a part of the desert with absolutely nothing around. Alright, guess for the time being I should try reading this book. 1. Please gather the following parts from locations scattered throughout the archive. Wow. Here, I thought this book was pinpoint accurate, but I guess it's more of a book targeted towards people who've come to the archive. So, is this written by the doctor too? Perhaps it's... In any case, I decide to gather the parts listed in the book. Though I don't see anyone around, is this a shop to begin with? If this was Senpai, she would probably have interest in a place like this. What in the world? We just got like a shop here now? Like an electronics shop? What the fuck is going on? If this was Senpai, she would probably have interest in a place like this. These people can repair electronics by themselves, after all. However, they've got a multitude of electronics that I've never seen here. Well, now I see. Well, there's no charging port on the surface of the smart tool, so they've adopted a wireless charging method, huh? Not only that, it sure is something. So apparently the charger itself has a simplistic design, and once part of the smart tool detects voltage, it can start charging. I get the feeling that I'm gaining something by reading these little tidbits of knowledge. This is the bliss of knowledge, I suppose. I realize this sort of bliss. Recently I've realized the fear that lies beyond, but back in the past I could only feel pleasure from adding more knowledge to my arsenal. I guess this is the kind of life form humans are? I would also guess that this is what entranced Hime Senpai then. Like, I would guess maybe it's just like you're not interested in learning kind of just boring, mundane shit, but stuff that's relevant to your own interests or relevant to your situation? I mean, I know that that's typically how I am. I fucking hate learning anything that I know that I will practically probably never use. So, when you put me down in front of something that I really enjoy, it's just like, yeah, like you will have my full undivided attention. Got the parts, got the tools, and we're okay on the instructions. It's just like a Gundam. We're just gonna put this thing together. All right, time to start building. I'm actually finding it's a little fun myself. Whoa, hello. There's a lot of electrical outlets. I try to use a soldering iron, but I realize that it doesn't have any power. 100 volts RMS, I guess 50 hertz will do then. I have to prepare things from scratch and all alone in this desolate desert, but items are in plentiful supply if distributed randomly. In this archive, there seems to be a collection of any and everything, so if you can assemble them all together, you can build anything you want. So you can't just like, okay, like archive, give me a fucking charger for my smart tool. I think I get what they're going for here and having him build it. It's just like, it's also just going to be a very roundabout way of saying what they're trying to say, though. Drawing out power is going to be the real struggle. I carry on building my charger enthusiastically, and after a while, I'm able to complete my first hand crank charger. Well, you've got the cranking taken care of. We know that from about 10 minutes ago. That won't be a problem for you. Done, finally. Will it work? The signal light isn't showing. That means it's not generating power. Must be something wrong somewhere. I look over each individual part, finding a part that's throwing the resistance off by an order of magnitude. This is probably the cause of the problem. Got it. I want to rush back to give it another go, but I'm hungry. Yo, they got chips here. Yo, get me some Doritos. If they got infinite Doritos in the archive, you could probably get me to stay there. Especially if they got Doritos 3D. But if this place has literally everything, then I could literally have an infinite supply of Doritos 3D for free? Guess it's a supermarket? There's a lot stocked here. This is a very convenient place for a plot, let me tell you. Well, since I'm only concentrated on satiating my hunger, I decide to grab a bunch of snack foods and head home. They got a huge variety, though. Are these foreign snacks? Was this the only image I could find on the internet? Whew. Now that my hunger is settled, I'm starting to get a little sleepy. But I'm a tad resistant to the idea of just up and sleeping on top of the sand. The archive really does have everything. Now that I think about it, this must be how the doctor brings all those things out from the back. So, like, this is like the archive. This is like the everything archive or some shit. Because, like, I'm thinking that library is just kind of a front for, like, what you're really doing back here. Of course, like, if this is a world where everybody's throwing all of their thoughts and regrets and stuff, I suppose that all of the stuff that, like, you know, is in their lives would end up cataloged here, too, which I guess that explains why we would have everything here. Well, thinking about it, she's pretty fast on her feet, too. Still, I'm not too sure if there's a concept of time around or not. Alright, I'm gonna sleep now, and when I wake up, I'll get back to work. If it gets a little darker, it'll be easier for me to sleep, but once night sets in this desert, there's not much in the way of signs of life. Good night. To nobody in particular. I slept well. Alright, back to work. Once I put the resistance back on and check the current again, this time it works normally. It's complete! In celebration, I bring a bunch of snacks and juice. Gotta give Masako something, give her a treat. She probably can't eat it, but she deserves it. Alright, let's hurry up and charge Masako. Whirl, whirl. I turn the handle. The smart tool glows red. That's a sign that it's charging. I did it! I am so very happy at this moment. I managed to create a charger from scratch. From nothing. A sense of accomplishment overcomes my body. However, this thing, how long is it gonna take to charge my smart tool? Oh good, I'm beat. How much did it charge it up? I tried turning on the smart tool. Huh? The smart tool lights up for just a few seconds and once again does not utter a single solitary word. So this means I was only able to charge it just a little bit? This is a shocking truth. Aw, I can't charge it at all. What should I do? I think about it. It's drawing electricity already, so being hand crank operated isn't necessary. It should be fine if I make it a normal charger. The book I got from the doctor only has instructions for a hand crank generator. Well, why don't you just like... Are we just gonna imagine a book of like how to make a normal ass fucking charger? Is that it? Guess I'll search around. Would this be considered an intellectual quest, or is this just out of necessity? I think it's both. In any case, I just want to know how to build a regular charger. Despite all I learn and learn, I still want to learn and comprehend everything. I never ever want to forget what I learn. These words were in the doctor's book, weren't they? I think they were. Maybe there are a couple of publications that have a way to build a regular charger somewhere around that bookshelf that the doctor led me to earlier. As to where it is, finding it among the infinite number of bookshelves will prove very challenging. That is how it was when I first came to the archive, unable to tell where I am in a world contained by bookshelves. Huh? Right, I forgot. What is Hime Senpai doing right about now? Am I lost again? Oh, hey Doc, how you doing? Before I realize it, there stands the doctor at the bookshelf across the way. Are you all done with your errands? Yes, just about. Were you able to make your charger? Yeah, I was, but thinking about Hime-chan? She's seeing right through me. Hime Senpai is here, right? If she's not by the red ones, then I would assume she must be here. The place Senpai went to after tea was here? Yes, that's right. I brought her to this, the Akashic Library. Akashic what? The Akashic Library. Library? I would think that you've already experienced enough of what this place has to offer, but I will give you a proper explanation nonetheless. This place has all the books. All the books? Do you read books? Not really. I don't consider myself a reader at all. Is that so? Well, anyway, that may make it easier to understand. Please take a good look at this bookshelf. I'm sure there is a book in there that you're familiar with. I do as I'm told and walk closer to the bookshelf. Oh, hey, it's, the Elementary Particles of the Mind. She's right. I've read that book before. I'm right, aren't I? This place should house any book that you want to read. But I haven't been able to find a book on how to build a regular charger. There is one. It's right next to that one. Huh? What? There is indeed a book like that right next to Elementary Particles of the Mind. So we're like in a space where we can just like imagine things and like it's like the everything. It's the everything archive, basically. Book on how to construct a normal charger. Is this for real? There's nearly anything you need here. For example, the diary of that girl that's piqued your interest is probably somewhere in here as well. Whoa. Should we be playing around with that? Is that something that we should have our eyes on? Right. I am not lying. Granted, I don't know where it is, but nonetheless, it is here. All of the books. That includes things like that as well? Yes, it does. Well, it isn't strictly limited to just books per se. See here? When I go to put the publication I took back onto the shelf, I notice a white slip of paper between the cracks. Huh? Wait. Yeah, like this is just literally everything. It's the paper we wrote on before. This paper. Huh? But why is this here? It is just like I said, isn't it? Everything is here. And of course, see? This and this are here too. Oh. Also, she's fucking adorable. I love her! Hey, she's got hands! No, we can finally rest easy knowing that the doctor has hands. I mean, we held it earlier, but you never know. We were in the dark. You don't know what you could have been holding on. You don't know what you were holding on to there. I am at a loss for words. Among the papers that the doctor brings, one of them has an equilateral triangle. Something that I doodled before. The quadratic equation is written on it. The other one just has the quadratic equation written on it. Therefore, in other words, this place, 3 pieces of paper from different times are all existing here at the same time. No, there is no concept of time to be had here to begin with. These papers have been here long before even you or Hime-chan or I added anything to them. The fact that you feel time go by is because you borrowed this paper from here in accordance with the illusion you have of time. You must be familiar with that form of animation. It is the mental diversion that makes all scenes exist here at the same time, but once you arrange them in order, it blurs the lines between time and motion. Is that like where the in-between animations are all just like, they're very low definition and squiggly, and they're just kind of there to imply motion, and like the keyframes are the ones that are, you know, the solid picture of what's happening. She had quite a liking for that. All scenes are here. What you see is a library, so the strings of words that you all regularly use are primarily stored here. Well, there are instances where pictures are included, like your triangle, but the boundaries are very clear. Right. Do you like music? Uh-huh. Yes, ma'am. As soon as we walk from the Akashic library a bit, there it is. This is the Akashic record. Ah, look at you! Look at you, you cute little thing. You look at her smiling. She's adorable. Ah, God, I want to take her home. Give her a hug. This is the Akashic record. Why is she snickering like that? You'll have to excuse me. That was a macrocosmic gag. Okay. This time, the shelves are completely lined with rectangular cardboard-looking items. What is this? Have you never seen these? These are LPs, records. There's nobody living in the world of 2236 that knows what an LP is. Even with the resurgence of vinyl in recent years, no, there's nobody gonna know about this shit in 200 years. I see, so those are records. Is there a song you want to listen to? You can look it up. Wow, a song I like. I wonder. It's such a sudden question for nothing. It's such a sudden question that nothing is coming to mind. Paco Bell's Canon, maybe? I type it into the machine. Oh Lord, what is all this? That is a lot. Whoa, that's so many results. I guess that's rightfully so. Even without the Akashic record, the canon is super famous, and makes sense that classical music, a thing that was revered by many, has a lot of sound sources. Here you go. Thank you very much. She even lends me a pair of headphones. I'll give it a listen then. Oh, it's an instrumental quartet. This song really is the best. It's as if my soul is being cleansed. Y'all got any death grips? It ends. I feel it's been a while since I've listened to music. Truly, a lot has happened since that day, and it's taken its toll on me, but I've recovered a little bit. Oh, the next song is automatically playing, huh? Canon again. I have no idea the difference between the sound source from before, but oh well, it's a favorite song of mine, so I gave it one more listen. Huh? There's a sense of uneasiness. I knew it. It's about the same as the sound source from before it, but the final chord is a little different. Someone is a half tone lower. Why? Oh, it started again. It's different again. This time, someone with a whole tone. Okay, it's like literally every every permutation that you could have of that final chord is here. You're gonna explain this in a really, really long roundabout way, aren't you? I have a vague apprehension. I listened to Canon de Dur in the search results in order from top to bottom, all the while paying close attention to the last chord. My hunch ends up being right. The sound sources produced in the search results, all individually, have slightly different sounds for their final parts. The creepy thing about that is that apart from the final chord, the performance itself sounds the exact same between them. It's just the final chord that's different. It leads me to believe that someone has to have done this on purpose. Someone? For what purpose? Music sure is entertaining, isn't it? It's all about sounds in a row, yet it's enough to move you. She also seems to have a liking for this diversion known as music. Sounds in a row? Who is she? We keep saying that in quotations. I really wish you'd stop being precious about it. That's right. I'm at the Akashic record. Every song exists here. That's why it has every form of canon D-dur. A canon, well, I'm probably pronouncing that entirely wrong because I do not listen to classical music. I am so sorry. A canon where the final chords are all half a tone lower. A canon where it's a whole tone lower. A canon where it's 2 tones lower. It has everything. As you would guess, it excludes everything that deviates too much. You can't really call it Pachelbel's canon at that point, after all. The search results will show things that are approximately the canon. I will let you listen to something interesting. Canonican. Or Canorican? What could it be? I'll give it a listen. The song started, but it's just gonna play Pachelbel's canon, isn't it? What is this? What is the meaning of this? This song, it's Dvorak's American. Why though? With no logical connection to the canon at all, it turns to American. That's right. That's why it's Canorican. Canorican? This is the Akashic record. Here exists all music. In the case of music, songs are sentences and sounds are letters. A song is a row of sounds. By saying that all music is here, all of those rows of sounds are here. The song where American comes after canon is also one row of sounds out of all of them. 1 second. Could I perhaps go back to the Akashic Library one more time? Of course. I will show you the way. This book, I Am a Cat. This is a famous work written by Soseki Natsume. I knew it. I get it. I know what you're saying. However, the 2 books right next to I Am a Cass, I Am a Cow. What is this? My hunch strikes home yet again. This is the Akashic Library. Here exist all books. Books are rows of letters. To have all books exist here is to have all rows of letters exist here. All right. And we're gonna stop there for now. I feel like my brain is expanding at an alarming rate, and I feel like we may need to take a little bit of a pause. Come back here tomorrow for we'll let all this digest in our brain meats for a while. So we'll be back here tomorrow. Bring your thinking caps. We have so much more to learn, I'm sure, and I'll see you then.